makeup friends, I am here with another Project Pan update with my good friend Kelly over at K-Bella Beauty. Let's get into this. As always, I want to start off by welcoming you back to my channel, or if you're new here, then hello and welcome. My name is Kara, and on my channel we like to mix beauty, brains, and the occasional F-bomb. Quickly, in terms of the makeup that I'm wearing, on my eyes I have the Meet Me in the Underworld palette from Adept Cosmetics, and on my lips I have one of the lip clays from Kaleidos in the shade Dahlia. Now, as I said at the beginning, I've been doing this Project Pan in collaboration with my friend Kelly, who you can find here on YouTube at K-Bella Beauty. And honestly, I'm so glad that I've been doing it with her, because I would have given up by like March or April at the absolute latest if I hadn't been doing this with her. We've been just keeping each other accountable, keeping each other motivated, and we just really dedicated ourselves to this entire process. And we're almost there. The end is in sight. Thank goodness for that. If you haven't yet discovered Kelly, please go and check out her channel. You're going to find that she's very down to earth. She just has this passion for makeup, but she's very relatable and just easy to watch. There's nothing dramatic, there's nothing over the top, there's nothing stressful about her channel. It's just all about the makeup, and frankly, it's just really enjoyable to watch. And it's honestly just the perfect representation of her. She is just such a delightful and kind person, and I'm so lucky that our paths crossed and that we formed the friendship that we did. So Kelly, thank you so much for doing this project with me. I'm not entirely sure I want to sign up for another, but maybe we can think of something a little bit outside of the Project Pan box for 2022. At any rate, here we are today. Let's get into the items. I do have some that I have finished, I have some that I'm giving up on, and some that I'm going to stick with. So I've got them all set out here. There were 10 items in total. Let's get into it in no particular order. So I'm just going to reach. So this was one here. This is the Forever Perfect Fix Setting Spray from Dior. And you can see where I started out. You can see where I'm at now. I've made very good progress with it. I am going to continue working on this one, and I expect that by the time we do our next update, this is going to be completely finished. Frankly, if I'm being perfectly honest, it's really nothing to write home about. It's not a bad setting spray. It's not sticky. The sprayer on it is quite nice, but it's quite expensive for what it is, and I don't think that it's really worth the money. To be honest, I've said it before, I will say it again. If you are Canadian, order it from the Shoppers Drug Mart Beauty Boutique online. Don't go to Sephora, because there's like a $16 price difference between the two for the exact same size and the exact same product. So save yourself some money, go to Shoppers Drug Mart and collect points on it. But I just want to put my 2 cents out there that it's good, but I don't feel compelled to repurchase it for what that's worth. All right, next up is a product that I have finished. So this is Cream Cup from MAC, and she's done. There's nothing left. Now, okay, granted, I could dig down into the middle, but I'm not going to. So we're calling this a win. We're calling it finished, and it's gonna go into the back to MAC pile. Another product that I have finished is this primer here from Rare Beauty. This is the Illuminating Primer, and obviously it's sort of like the mini size that they offer of it, but you can see where I was. Now, the line doesn't go down, it goes up. So this is one of those products where like I don't know what you call that, the little mechanism on the inside that actually holds the product just keeps moving up as you use it. So I've used everything that I can in there. Nothing more is going to come out of there. And I feel very, very good about that. So that one is complete. I am going to be bringing in another primer to replace that one. So this one is from Illamasqua, and it's the Hydra Veil. And I don't know how we are going to track the progress on this, because as you can see, it's an opaque container and it's like a jelly. Like it's like a jelly. I don't know how else to say it. So there she is. You can't even, like, the depth perception doesn't even really show how much is in there, and I can't really mark it because it's all wet on the inside and black, and so I don't know how to track this. let's just hold it up. I will take a screenshot, and maybe when we do the next update, we'll be able to see the difference. Who knows? But we're going to keep working away at it. I've had this for a horrifically long time. I'm sure it's well past its suggested expiry date. It hasn't broken my skin out or irritated it in any way, so I'm going to continue working on it. It's not my favorite product, but I have it and I want to finish it up. So what better place to do that than a project pan? Now this product here is also from MAC. This is the Studio Fix 24-Hour Smooth Wear Concealer in NC20. And this has been, I think, in the project since the very beginning. I mean, you can see just how many different marks I've made. I don't know how to describe this. Little like progress marks, I guess. I don't know why I'm struggling or why I'm so dedicated to finding the right word. We all know what these marks are. At any rate, you can see how many there are. I've made fairly good progress on this, but I have about 1.5 million concealers, and I've kind of dedicated myself to doing a bunch of concealer reviews. I missed this week's, but I blame life. Sorry about that. It's going to happen from time to time. Regardless, I don't want to continue focusing on this because honestly, it's not my favorite concealer. It's testing out all these different concealers is showing me what I really like and what I don't really like, and this one just doesn't really hold up for me. It's not fantastic. At any rate, what I do like it for is comparison swatches. And there is just enough product in there that it's worth keeping for that purpose. Like I don't want to buy another one just for comparison swatches, but there's enough product in here that I'm going to hold on to it, but I'm not making a concerted effort to use it up. I just want it as basically a reference product. So I'm putting it into retirement from actual use, but I will continue to use it when I'm doing reviews of other concealers. Hopefully that makes sense. Okay. Moving on from there, I do have this one here from Charlotte Tilbury. This is the Beauty Light Wand in Spotlight. And again, this has been in the project for a while now. You can see where I started out, and now the progress is, where is it? Way down here. It's just catching the light and reflecting, so I can't really see it in the viewfinder. There it is. So there's really not that much. And you can see that I make fairly good progress between each of these updates. So I don't know that it'll be completely finished by the next one, but if not, it's going to be really darned close. And I'm still really enjoying this, so I am going to keep this one in the project. Another product that is now complete is this one here from Laneige. This is the Lip Glowy Balm in Barrie. And it started off up here. I can see, when I hold it up, I can see the light coming through it. There is still a little bit of product up here. There is still a little bit down here, but it's really hard to squeeze out. I would have to cut it and just sort of dig into it. I don't really feel compelled to do that simply because I have so many lip balms floating around. In fact, I've put like an embargo on myself. I'm not allowed to buy anymore because I have so many that need to be used up first. This one I have enjoyed, but it's not really my favorite. It's not bad by any stretch. It's really not. I'm not a huge fan of the applicator. I just find these to be really messy. I prefer like a stick or a little pot where I can just like dig some out and rub it on my mouth. This one is good as a daytime lip balm. So if I'm just on the run, and it does have like a little bit of a tint to it. So it's just a little bit of color on the lips, nothing over the top. But I don't like it for like overnight. I don't think it has enough strength for that. I do like the Laneige sleeping mask, and that's what I use, the lip sleeping mask. But this one is good for daytime. It's not my favorite. I'm not going to repurchase it, but nor do I hate it. At any rate, it's done. This is also done. This is from Wet n Wild, and this is the gel lip liner in Never Petal Down. And she's done. No more is coming up out of there. This is one that I would consider repurchasing if I didn't already have a ton of other lip pencils, mainly from Gerard Cosmetics. I just love theirs so much, and I'm also able to get them in PR, so that helps. But these are like $4, something like that at Walmart, and they're fantastic. These are probably the best drugstore lip pencils out there, and in fact, they rival some of the higher end lip pencils that I've tried. They are fully retractable when there's product in there to retract. And they're like, there's nothing dry or stiff. They don't tug across the lips. They're not prone to breaking off like some other lip pencils are. They're very comfortable. I highly recommend them. I don't need another one at this point, but if I did, this is one that I'd be looking for. Next up is from Tarte, and this is the Breezy Cream Bronzer in the shade Seychelles. I added this in at the last update, and there was very little wear out of it at that point. I've hit pan, so I am quite happy about that. And in fact, I'm quite happy with this bronzer, so I'm going to continue to include it in the project. I have absolutely no expectation of fully completing it, not even by the end of the year. But what I want to focus on is just bringing this pan a little bit closer towards this area here. Just expand it forwards a bit just for something to work towards. But I really do like this. I like the undertone of it. It's warm without being too orangey. It blends out really nicely. It lasts all day. I have no complaints about it whatsoever. So I'm quite happy to keep it in this project. Now, this one here is from The Ordinary, and this is the Serum Foundation. You can see where I was and where I am now. So really not a lot of progress has been made. In my defense, I have been using more like skin tints recently, and now that we're like a week into September, I've been busting out the powder foundations as well, just because I find them to be so convenient and so easy to use. So this one hasn't been getting a lot of attention from me, and so I'm going to switch it out. So I'm going to take that one out and I'm going to put this one in. So this is from Maybelline. This is the Better Skin Powder Foundation, which I think has now been replaced with the Superstay Powder Foundation. Spoiler, I did pick that one up. I have tried it. Initial impressions are that it's not as good as this one, unfortunately, but I haven't done like a side-by-side comparison yet. I think I'll do that even if it's just for my own purposes, and then I'll report back to you guys because I don't really know that anybody cares about a video about that. But at any rate, all that to say, I really, really like this one. As you can see, I have used quite a bit of it. Damned if I know why I keep this sponge because I never actually use it. But at any rate, there's really not that much left, although I hesitate to say that because anytime I'm using some sort of powder product and I'm like, there's really not that much left, it's like another 8 months until it's completely gone. So we shall see, but I do want to finish this one up entirely. I've had it for several years and that can't be good. So I want to focus on it. And because I like it so much, there's really no reason not to. So I'm going to take The Ordinary out and put Maybelline in. Now, before we move on to the last of the new products to be entered into the project, there's one more that is exiting. As you can see, this is completely empty. So this was a candle from White Barn in Cactus Blossom. Obviously I didn't burn it until it was completely evaporated. I put it in the freezer and then the leftover wax just comes out really easily. But at any rate, I burned it all the way down, you can see, to about there. And then I was finding it was getting hot underneath when it was burning, so it was time to let it go. But it's completely done. So now I only have one more 3-wick candle in my house, which means it's just about time to go and buy more candles right in time for holiday season. So I'm excited about that. Anyways, we have 2 more items to add into the project. So up first is the Laura Mercier Translucent Setting Powder, which is a product that I believe Kelly has been panning as well. So I've just kind of did the best that I could to estimate, where it is, right over here. I kind of tapped it on the desk and tried to get it as even as possible, but it's kind of impossible. But at any rate, this is a fairly good estimation as to where it's at. I did try to take the little stopper out so that I could get a bird's eye view of the product, but I cannot get this out at all. It feels like it should come out relatively easily, but it doesn't, so we're gonna have to work around it. So the little line is the best I can do, but there's really not that much in here. I don't rely very heavily on powder. I do set my entire face when I do foundation and all that jazz, but I don't retouch throughout the day and I don't use a lot of powder. So I really am not entirely sure how long this will likely take me to finish up, but we're just gonna keep plugging away at it. All right, and that brings us then to the last item that I'm bringing into this project, which is a perfume. In specific, Sunflowers from Elizabeth Arden. This has been around forever. I remember wearing this in high school back in the 90s, and I don't even think it was new at that time. So it's been around for quite some time, but I Love it. I have always loved this one, but it always reminds me of fall time. I don't know why, but it just does. And so here we are at the start of fall. What better time? And like I said, I really don't have any expectation of actually finishing it. As you can see, there's really not that much taken out of there. But I want to focus on this one for at least the next couple of months, see what kind of dent I can make into it. And it also just helps me like stop staring at all of my perfumes in the morning, trying to figure out which one I want to wear. I'll just grab for this one. So there you have it, guys. Those are the items that I have finished, the items that I am switching out, and the new items that I am bringing in. And again, just want to remind you to go and check out Kelly's video as well, which I will link down below. But with all of that said, I'm going to wrap the video up here. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch, and I will see you in my next one. Until then, just be a decent human being. Bye for now.